Hi boys and girls, look at this big book I have. You know, normally I borrow a smaller version of this book from our school library, but because we're all home, I called a friend of mine who lives across the street and she had a big version of this book. So I borrowed it from her. The title of our story is called The Tiny Seed, and the name of the author is Carle. Carle is a very famous children's author. He's written other books like The Grouchy Ladybug. He's written the book, what other books? Oh, Brown Bear. Lots and lots and lots of books. The Very Hungry Caterpillar. So you may have heard, or you may have read or had other books by him read to you. His artwork is really famous, and it's always kind of the same with really bright colors. And the way he makes his art is by painting big pieces of paper and then cutting them to make the shapes. And so you could try that too as a way to look like the author and illustrator Carle. Let's read this book together. The Tiny Seed by Carle. It is autumn. A strong wind is blowing. It blows flower seeds high in the air and carries them far across the land. One of the seeds is tiny, smaller than any of the others. Will it be able to keep up with the others? And where are they all going? One of the seeds flies higher than the others, up, up, till it goes. It flies too high, and the sun's hot rays burn it up. But the tiny seed sails on with the others. Another seed lands on a tall and icy mountain. The ice never melts, and the seed cannot grow. The rest of the seeds fly on, but the tiny seed does not go as fast as the others. Now they fly over the ocean. One seed falls into the water and drowns. The others sail on the wind, but the tiny seed does not go as high as the others. Boys and girls, have you been trying to find our tiny seed? You see the other seed's way up here, and here's the tiny seed way down there. One seed drifts down into the desert. It is hot and dry, and the seed cannot grow. Now the tiny seed is flying very low, but the wind pushes it on with the others. Finally, the wind stops and the seed falls gently down on the ground. A bird comes by and eats one seed. The tiny seed is not eaten. It is so small that the bird does not see it. So here's our big seeds, and there's our tiny seed. Now it is winter. After their long trip, the seeds settle down. They look as if they're going to sleep in the earth. Snow falls and covers them like a soft white blanket. A hungry mouse that also lives in the ground eats a seed for his lunch. But the tiny seed lies very still, and the mouse does not see it. Now it is spring. After a few months, the snow has melted. It is really spring. Birds fly by, the sun shines, rain falls, the seeds grow so round and full they start to burst open a little. Now they are not seeds anymore. They are plants. First, they send roots down into the earth. Then their little stems and leaves begin to grow up towards the sun and air. There is another plant that grows much faster than the new little plants. It is a big, fat weed, and it takes all the sunlight and the rain away from one of the small new plants, and that little plant dies. The tiny seed hasn't begun to grow yet. It will be too late. Hurry! But finally, it too starts to grow into a plant. The warm weather also brings the children out to play. They too have been waiting for the sun and the springtime. One child doesn't see the plants as he runs along and oh, he breaks one. Now it cannot grow anymore. The tiny plant that grew from the tiny seed is growing fast, but its neighbor grows even faster. Before the tiny plant has 3 leaves, the other plant has 6. And look, a bud! And now even a flower. But what is happening? First, there are footsteps, then a shadow.